Well, excuse me, happy Monday morning to all of my friends out there. If I have to admit, I am a little slow going this morning. Usually I love to embrace Mondays, love to embrace a new week. I'm struggling a little bit today, but the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. I'm trying to get my head together on what needs to take place this week. Last week, I had a friend in town, and it was wonderful. I cleared most of my schedule. There were still some things that I could not completely clear off, but I felt relaxed and refreshed, and we just had a great time together. We got a pedicure. It was just a great week, and so trying to re-engage this week. And I know that there's a lot on my to-do list, and I'm not really wanting to look at it or think about it. So, how's your Monday starting off? Well, excuse me, what I want to talk to you about today really kind of piggybacks on last week's video. I know last week I talked about putting the other people putting labels on you, and that we don't have to accept that. We can throw those off and be who God has called us to be. Well, this kind of goes along with it. And I think the Lord is just really trying to speak to me and to others through me of our value, your worth, and who He's created you to be. Many years ago, many years ago, when I was really first starting off in ministry, I attended a conference. And overall, the conference was good, but the speaker that year, she didn't necessarily resonate with me. Good person, great, I'm not putting her down at all, but the way that she did ministry, her philosophy of ministry, just seemed to be drastically different than mine. And all the other ladies that I went with to this conference just loved her and responded positively to her. And I walked away from that conference actually grieved at what really took place. And, I won't go into all of those details, but I remember driving home from the conference and really just praying and talking to the Lord and saying, Lord, if this is what you've called me to do, then I don't know that I could do this. I can't be like so-and-so. That's just not how I'm wired. That's not who I am. And the Lord spoke to me so clearly in that moment, and it has helped me through the rest of my years in ministry. And He said, Wendy, I didn't call you to be so-and-so. I called you to be Wendy Hargrove. That's who I created you to be. And so I have always felt like a square peg in a round hole. I've just always felt different. And a lot of times I look at my differentness as a negative thing, as a bad thing. And that's not how I'm supposed to look at it. The Lord said, I created you a certain way, to think a certain way, to feel a certain way, to hear my voice a certain way, so that you can impact certain people that others aren't able to impact. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not weird. You're not faulty. I created you that way for a reason. You are supposed to be different. You are supposed to stand out. And so I want to present that to you today. If you feel like I do, sometimes like you don't blend in and that you don't fit, you weren't created to fit. You were created to stand out and to be different and to do what God has called you to do in the way that He's called you to do it. And so once you rip those labels off of you that other people put on you, start recognizing that the way you have been made is just the way God wanted you made. He wants you to think a certain way. We are to listen to His voice. We aren't supposed to follow a mold or a track that other people have already laid down. That's what God has called them to do, and it's working for them, and that's wonderful. But you aren't them. You are you. And you're supposed to listen for his voice and follow it. And it may not look like the next person. It may not look like the person, that you're best friends with, or that you watch on the stage. And that's okay. That's okay. Be different. Stand out. And so on this Monday, don't go into it with dread, thinking, I just can't live up to everything that I'm supposed to live up to. No, you're not supposed to. Just follow God today. Listen for his voice, and he's going to tell you to do things and lead you down paths that you never dreamed, you never imagined. And one day when you look back, you're going to say, wow, I never would be where I am had it not been for the Lord and me following his voice. Happy Monday. Have a great one. I love y'all. Praying for you guys, and we will talk again real soon.